Hey, what's up guys? So I'm going to be showcasing off the entire set of replays from the Duelist Unite tournament. If you guys didn't hear about it, I actually mentioned it a while back. It was an open bracket with prizes, but I also wanted to mention that there is still a free prize that anyone can enter. Obviously, if you didn't participate, you won't be getting the prize for the participants, but there's still another giveaway because the whole thing was sponsored by this group called Noble Esports, and they're doing a giveaway for a gaming chair and desk. So if any of you guys are interested in that, I'll link everything down below from the Duelist Unite group. So anyways, yeah, I just wanted to mention, where the tournament was from, and like I said, good luck if you guys are going to try to get that free gaming chair, and there's a desk also. But anyways, like I said, you don't have to participate at all to be entered in on that. But anyways, let's go ahead and cast the game. So anyways, we've got Wolfio versus D5 Arc. They're both actually playing Paleozoics. This is the semifinals for the game. There's a lot of really crazy things that I didn't even think that people would run. And there's a really cool card, Forbidden Apocrypha over here, and that's a really insanely strong card. When you're playing up against a deck that only makes certain things, I think that I've seen this card like be really useful. I mean, it is a normal trap card, which is actually really good. There's a lot of other cards that we'll get into once we get into like games 2 and 3s that are just like, whoa, I didn't even think about that. Some of them you guys might remember from like other back in the day side deck choices. But anyways, yeah, he's going to go ahead and make a Treat Toad, and then he's going to respond with Canadia, so this one gets to Book of Moon, the monster, putting it face down. He does not negate this. I mean, I know this card only has 0 attack, but it's a pretty intense duel. The game 3 gets pretty crazy. But anyways, this is game 1, by the way, right here. Solemn Strike activated against Treat Toad, but Treat Toad will still proc its effect. We see Fiend Griefing going to be able to bounce back something from the opponent's deck or graveyard into the deck, and then he gets to send a Absolute King Backjack to the graveyard, which potentially gets him an extra free card. A lot of times you get like free D-Barriers, you get Lost Wind. This card is really good too, and this card definitely showed how good it can be. But I know a lot of times I cast and showcase off a little bit of fun decks and, just crazy stuff. But this one is more for competitive players. So here you competitive guys go, those of you guys that say, you don't upload competitive stuff. This is one of the most competitive decks right now. And it's both of them playing in mirror match. And it's kind of cool to see this because a lot of times we don't play the same decks very often and have them match up against each other. Because right now there are a few decks that are in the meta. We have Paleozoics. Sometimes people are still playing the Phantom Knights with that new card. They're pretty decent. And in addition to that, there are variants of Zodiac. But both running 60 card decks too. That's pretty crazy. I thought we would have seen like a lawn mowing next door. Or the grass is always tastier. I believe what's called the TCG. But yeah, that card wasn't even in here, and I was really surprised. Because there's so many good cards apparently that the deck can go into. And this deck, it can pull off grind games. I mean, there's a lot of duels where the game is over in 5 seconds, and this is definitely a duel that lasts longer than 5 seconds, which is, it's kind of nice to see. Next up, we see a Daigusto Phoenix Summon, which can actually attack twice if it decides to select itself. But he's going to activate that effect, so he's going to be able to attack twice. And he's going to make double Daigusto Phoenix. And here comes the Forbidden Apocrypha. That was like, whoa, what the heck? That's where I was like, wow, this duel getting hyped because I haven't seen anyone play this card. And like normally you think, oh, make double Treat Toad, but that would negate this card anyways. But the card is still pretty decent. The guy main decked this card in this tournament. That's crazy to me. I know that there are a lot of different decks that can throw out double synchros or double of like anything. But the thing is I don't know if I would have main decked that, but he goes ahead and calls it GG over here. But that was game 1. Now let's go ahead and jump into game 2. Now, like I said, game 3, it has a lot of hype. So this one is game 2. You guys can see what the heck they side decked in, hopefully, in this game. Let me go and actually move it over here so you guys can still see the duel. And you can see what they are side decking. One card that I think is really important is actually DD Crow. Because everything is being chained, you can chain DD Crow. And I didn't even expect people to play Mathematician. I don't know if this was something that they decided to put in as a side. Let me go and check out his side deck. I think both players playing Crow. This guy's not playing Crow. He crazy. I think DD Crow is just so important, as you guys will see during these plays. And what's interesting is the demise plus running a 60 card deck. Like, I almost feel like it's kind of backwards in a sense to get consistency, but there's so many cards that just make this deck, and you can obviously go through the deck a little bit faster with cards like Treat Toad. But we see Compulse activated, and it's going to go ahead and steal the Compulse. Treat Toad's going to activate its effect, bringing back Dupe Frog. And what's interesting with this, if any of you guys didn't know that are interested in perhaps playing the deck, if you have 2 Dupe Frogs out on the field, your opponent can't even attack. They can't attack you directly or anything because they can't attack because they have to select a Dupe Frog. But if you have 2 of them, it causes like an error in the game and it doesn't know what to do because you can't select another target. But if there's only 2 Dupe Frogs, it doesn't know what to do. But anyways, we see we got the compulse from his opponent over here, and a lot of times you'll see multiple copies of Lost Wind being activated. So basically, if you guys don't know what the heck the Paleozoics do, they all have effects when they're traps, but when they're monsters, they can they summon themselves out of the graveyard by chaining to another trap. And they just become 1200 attack, and it's a water level 2. So basically, Treat Toad Turbo, or Totally Awesome Turbo, is what a lot of people call this deck. So you guys will see them making that quite often. It's one of the best cards to make, just in general. It's not even like because of Mirror Match, it's just one of the best cards. So he's going to go ahead and take Quaking Mirror Force, but Bewildering or Lost Wind is activated in response to this. And we see with so many changes going off over here from the duel. So he's going to go ahead and flip it face down. And Treat Toad, or Totally Awesome, does not have any defense, so it's easily ran over. Now he's going to go ahead and set a Lost Wind from the graveyard. Really, really good card. He's going to go ahead and try to get rid of both of them. It's going to get negated. Now he has this card over here, and he attacks into a Absolute King Backjack, which can potentially get him, again, a free card. It banishes itself from the graveyard. You reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a trap card, you can just go ahead and set it. Really good stuff. And then we see Card of Demise activated, but it did get stopped. Next up, we see the DD Crow in his hand over here. So he's going to go ahead and get out a bunch of those. He's got triple Treat Toad. So it's not looking too good for D5 Arc over here. But he still has multiple copies of Bewildering Wind. But of course, he's going to be stealing those, and he's got double. And he's going to have Heart of the Cards if Wolf doesn't finish him off relatively soon. But look, he's got a top deck out of this. That is a really nasty board to talk about. Double Treat Toads, and he's got how many Lost Winds? Triple Lost Winds, and then he's got the Forbidden, and he activates the effect, but it's going to get DD Crow, and that's going to be game 2. But let me go ahead and show you guys game 3, because like I said, I wouldn't have expected this ending out of this play over here, but do 5 Arc going first here. Gonna go ahead and set 5 pass. The guy who goes for a Mathematician sends the Rodent Toadin to the graveyard. He's got a DD Crow. And I think, again, this is a really key card during the Mirror Match because he's going to go ahead and Reckless Greed and try to get that monster out, but it gets banished via DD Crow. Imperial Order activated in response to Cupidity, but Wiretap is there to negate the Imperial Order. And I was like, wow, because this guy would have straight up lost at this point. I think D5 RK probably wouldn't have done too much if that pot got negated because you would only had a few cards. But we see the Dino Mistress over here, so this lets you target a face-up card in the field and banish it, but you do have to discard a card. But a lot of cards in this deck work well when they are banished, or when they are discarded, whether it's Rodent Toadin, the King Backjack. There's a lot of cards where you don't really need to have in your hand or out on the field to get their effects. But Pot of Cupidity or Desires activated. We see a Dupe Frog, and it's going to be put face down over here. And because of Quaking Mirror Force's effect, they actually cannot change the position. We see Lendy's going to go ahead and destroy a spell and trap, gets rid of the Wiretap out on board. And like I said, anyways, going back to the Quaking Mirror Force hitting Dupe Frog, this was actually mentioned. I actually did participate with this group live. They were actually doing this, but the duel is like 2 hours long because this deck, it does take a lot of time, but I figure I give you guys like the semifinals much faster. He's going to go ahead and call it Seed with Dimension Barrier. But anyways, he actually, if this card wasn't flipped face down, he could have done the Dupe Frog lock, which is what I was just talking about, where if both of the cards, both Dupe Frogs are face up on the field, your opponent cannot actually attack you at all. So that is actually a little nasty soft lock, I want to say, that can occur. But anyways, he's got another Quaking Mirror Force. This card's getting so much more popular these days. But he's going to go ahead and flip this card face down. And he's got the Absolute King Backjack, which is actually a pretty dirty card. Because you randomly can get a card that can just shut down your opponent for one turn. In this duel, it would be Dimension Barrier. But even getting cards like Quaking Mirror Force can be pretty strong at certain times. But anyways, he's going to activate D-Bear, going to go ahead and call Exceed. He doesn't want him going into any Treat Toads this turn. He's got another copy of Dimension Bear. And you guys are going to be seeing a ton of lost wins in this duel. But anyways, we got the Fiend Griefing. He's going to go make a Treat Toad. He's going to immediately destroy the Fiend Griefing, so he cannot use that card. But anyways, he's going to go ahead and activate that Quaking Mirror Force. It's going to get negated, but now he's got it on his side of the board. He's going to go ahead and set the Ronin Toad. Now, again, with the Quaking Mirror Force, you guys can't flip them up. So, unfortunately, can't really make a Treat Toad anytime soon. But we got Dino Mistress, which is one of the more powerful cards. I really like this card. It's super helpful because it forces your opponent to kind of stop this card with the effective Treat Toad. But anyways, he's going to get double copies of Lost Wind, which halves the opponent's attack, and it negates their effects. And if it's in your graveyard, you can set this card, but it has to be banished when it leaves the field. So he's going to go ahead and negate that effect, and he's going to go ahead and chain it D-Bear. Then he's going to go ahead and activate his Morella so he can special summon it. Going to be negating that Lost Wind. So now he gets it. So even though, you know, the card would normally get banished, it goes to the opponent's side of the field. A lot of shenanigans are going on in this duel. I mean, everyone's stealing each other's stuff with the effect of Treat Toad. And that's what I really like, where the mirror match can showcase off how good stealing certain cards can be. When it's mirror match, you have access to of course, the other stuff. But obviously when it dies, your opponent is going to get their graveyard filled once again. But he's defending up. He's got 5 back row. I mean, there's back row for days in this duel over here. And you don't see that too often anymore in Yu-Gi-Oh! Usually the games are over like 5 minutes, but we're in turn 29. When has this happened in Yu-Gi-Oh! But anyways, we got the Treat Toad summoning itself, and he's going to go and attack. He's going to go ahead and negate the effect of a Dupe Frog, and he's going to go ahead and pass to his opponent here. But he's only got 10 cards left, and I think I've mentioned this before, but this game, or this deck, the Paleozoics, they were all about the grind game. I don't think any deck can grind better than they can, because they can reset some of their traps over and over because you're overlaying them, therefore they do not get banished. Really dirty little combo. And in OCG, this deck did actually get hit, but now it's like full power pretty much in TCG. We got Bewildering Wind activated. He's going to go ahead and reduce his... Watch this, guys. So he's reducing the attack, but he's reducing it by twice. So he's trying to get rid of that card, but he's going to reduce it to 300 attack. So this card's got 600 attack. It's got its attack half. He top decks into Imperial Order. He's going to activate King Back Jack. Going to get a Torrential Tribute and activate it immediately. And he's going to go ahead and just clear the board. And he's only got 9 cards left. Will we see a deck out? Because that's pretty insane. To deck out in a 60-card deck, has science gone too far? But anyways, he's got the King Backjack, really good card. And we got the Ronin Toad. He's going to destroy the double back row. It's kind of an aggressive play over there of Wolf here. But anyways, we see him get a Reckless Career. I don't know if he wants to use that because he's going to maybe deck out pretty soon. But he's got to finish off his opponent really soon. Otherwise, again, he's just going to be decking out. But he's got multiple copies of Lost. Look at that, triple copies of Lost Wind. Oh my gosh, but Treat Toad going to be able to attack directly. He's not even going to activate one of these. Like, you guys, I think you need to reduce this eventually, man. And also negating its effect, that's pretty helpful. Perhaps he was afraid he was going to negate it, but you just negate it again. Like, I think you should have done this a little bit earlier. Wolfio, that is. Just because it's at 55-50 attack now. But he overlays and goes into a Downward Magician, which can actually do piercing damage. Ronin Toad not going to be safe over here. But he's going to go ahead and go to battle phase attack. But Bewildering Wind's going to go ahead and reduce that. He's going to chain his Morella so he can summon it. And he's going to go ahead and take 950 because it's got too much defense. The butt is too fat. But anyways, he's going to activate Lincholia and be able to banish one card and put it back into the graveyard. He's going to go ahead and go for a Daigusto Phoenix. He's looking to do some damage now because he knows he needs to finish off his opponent really fast. He's got Imperial Order and Reckless Greed out on board. Top decked in Twin Twister. He's going to go ahead and move that into defense position, and his opponent is going to go ahead and get Dino Mistress. Again, a really good card. It's getting close, guys. 2 cards left before the deck. Oh, he's activating Reckless Greed. He will not deck out because he does not draw for 2 more turns. So keep that in mind as well, guys. So he has to finish his opponent off with what he has. There is no more cards left. Twin Twister is activated. Going to get rid of the cards. But Imperial Order is trained to negate that. But he's going to go ahead and get out Canadia in response to the Imperial Order. Soft Fry activated. He's going to go ahead and get a Ronin Toad. And he's getting double him. He's going to go ahead and make Ano Malakaris over here, and he's going to go ahead and activate Dino Mistress, so he's going to go ahead and banish that card. It's immune to monsters, but not immune to the Dino Mistress. But he goes in defense up into Opabinia, and Opabinia is going to go ahead and pretty much say, Dagusto Phoenix, I'm sorry, mate, but you ain't going to do anything to me. He's got a Quaking Mirror Force, and then he makes a Sky Cavalry Centauria. He's going to go ahead and Bukamoon the Centauria via the effect of the Quaking, but he's got to pay for that Imperial Order, but he's got no more cards. He had to make the play with that Reckless Greed. Unfortunately, I don't think it's looking too good for Wolfyo over here. Cards cannot be drawn, and we have a winner. But wow, that was, I still can't believe it. 52 turns! Like, when has that happened in 2017? But anyways, guys, like I said, I'll mention some more of these tournaments in the future. I'll link the website down below. I already mentioned it before the tournament started for the signups. But yeah, like I mentioned, there's also a free giveaway. You do not have to participate in the tournament. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. But if you win, you want to give me half the... Actually, if you win it and you only found out about the giveaway via this YouTube vid, you want to hook me up with half that chair? I'll take it, man. Give me the cushion on that chair if you win. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Good luck if you're entering in that giveaway. And I'll try to cast some more like higher ranked game, because I know some of you guys want some more competitive stuff. I'll probably get to that to you guys relatively soon. I will be casting the finals of the tournament, but this was the semifinals, so Paleozoics moving to the finals, boys. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys go like button, slap arena, show Diva who's boss, and hit that subscribe button for more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh videos.